Alright, guys, so this is another Patreon request, and this one comes from Hunter Johnson, who asked me. This one got buried under the mountain of old man stories he asked me to do, and I managed to dig it up. Yep. So this is Steven Universe versus the Elite. A while back, I talked about like a Patreon request that involved Optimus Prime versus an Autobot version of the Elite, which was a group of Autobots who were more extremist in anything. And around that time, Hunter had asked me to do a Patreon request involving a different version of the Elite. So this is like a shared cartoon universe version of that story. But anyway, let's get started with this story. And as always, as always, if you guys like to send me a Patreon request, just hit the link below. Head on over to my Patreon where you guys can start sending me Patreon requests for videos to do in the future. But anyway, let's get started. So this story begins with Steven in Beach City, just enjoying his home and, teaching the gems all about friendship and how to, be an alien on Earth, and it's all in little home world. Like he is just kind of having peace and all of that, when suddenly a villain shows up. A villain shows up, and it's Dr. Chipotle Jr. It is Dr. Chipotle Jr. who wants to turn gems and convert them into energy weapons. So Steven and him are fighting when, out of nowhere, a new team shows up calling themselves the Elite. And the Elite consists of God, I forgot the name. I forgot the list. It is oh, right. Sorry. It is led by Major Man. Yeah, if you guys remember Major Man from the Powerpuff Girls, Miss Heed from Villainous, the Golden Eagle Twins from LT Ray, and Migo from Team Go from Kim Possible. So, though it's not really the best people, it's really not the best people put together for this team. It is a bunch of assholes. It is a bunch of assholes. And even Steven notes when he talks to Migo, he's like, "Hey, aren't you already part of a team?" And he's like, "They didn't appreciate me, so I joined a new team." And he's like, okay. So Major Man so Major Man introduces themselves as, "We are the Elite. We are the best superhero team out there." And Steven's like, "Cool, you gonna help me fight this guy? Fight Dr. Chipotle?" And he's like, "Haha, stand aside." So the Elite beat the ever-loving shit out of Dr. Chipotle, and Steven actually comes in and uses his shield. Like, that's enough. He's learned. He's learned his lesson, and he's like, you can't really have a Major Man's like, "Please, you don't need to have sympathy for these people. They're villains. They would have killed your little alien town. Like, it's stupid that you pretend to care about these people." And he's like, "I think you should." And Steven's like, I think you should mosey on out of here." So yeah. So Steven is pretty upset by this. Like, he's upset that these heroes are basically going out and trying to kill super villains and whatnot. And he goes out and hangs out with Danny and Jenny. He meets them at a cafe because he's in contact with them. He's like, "Hey, should we meet up?" And the three of them go to a cafe, and Danny is talking to Steven and Jenny, and he's like, "Guys, this is a little concerning, right? It's pretty concerning that these guys who we know are not good, all of them are not good people. This is a team of thugs and thugs and frauds who have no qualms about killing people, and they'll do it with a smile. They will gladly do it with a smile." And then it gets revealed that the Elite, as they call themselves, Major Man makes the announcement over the TV that we've met a new member. It's Misty from, again, the Mist Alien Bounty Hunter that Jenny knew, and she's like, "That bitch." they're probably paying her to be part of the team. So now the Elite have another member on this team, and they basically send a message to the world saying, if anyone gets if any supervillain dares to hurt the American people, we'll be there to stop them by any means necessary. And that applies to any superhero who dares to get in our way. And of course, Danny, Jenny, and Steven are just sitting there like, that motherfucker. Because they already know, like, they are well aware that these guys are not to be trusted. These are a bunch of assholes who are, like I said, frauds and thugs. But Danny basically says, look, we can't let them win. Like, if we... And Danny basically says up front, like, we should just go in, you, me, Jenny, we'll go get Randy and Jake, we'll go get Kim, and we'll even get the Powerpuff Girls too. We'll even get the Powerpuff Girls, and we'll all house these fuckers. We will house these guys before they become before they kill someone or get someone killed, because it's very clear these guys don't care about collateral damage. All they care about is money and fame. But Steven basically says, look, if we do that, I'm not disagreeing that that's not a bad idea, and I would love to agree with you, but the problem is if we do that, we're going to cause as much collateral damage as they do, and they'll even like pin it on us, and we can't attack them. They've given us no reason to attack them, but we can't fight. We can't all fight them on their terms. Like, we have to fight them on our terms. We have to get them to fight on our terms. So So after that, Steven goes back home and about that time when he's headed back home, he gets attacked by. This time by Duff Killigan, and Duff Killigan tries to kill him. That's when the Elite show up again, and this time they make an example out of Duff, where they kill him on live television, and people are like cheering, like, yeah, this is awesome. And that's when Steven just goes full pink and goes, enough! This is not how we do things. This is not how, we're heroes. We're meant to inspire. We're not executioners. And Major Man is like, well, if you believe that, if you feel that way, you kind of sound like you want to cause a problem. He's like, I do. And he's like, all right, name your time and day. Time, day, and place. And he's like, tomorrow, the moon. And he's like, the moon? Yeah, there's a breathable spot on the moon, trust me. So, yep, Steven gears up for a fight with the Elite, and what happens is that the night before, he's talking to Connie, and even the Crystal Gems are like, we should go with you. Like, the Crystal Gems basically ask Steven, even Jasper is like, I should be there. Like, it's good. First off, you need protection, my diamond. Secondly, I should be there. It's going to be a fight. I want to be part of this fight. Like, it's good to have a fight, and it doesn't seem like anyone's going to miss these assholes. And Steven tells everyone, like, look, it has to be me. It has to be me alone against them, or this doesn't work. So, next day comes, they all beam up. Steven and the Elite beam up to fight each other on the moon, which is the moon base from Pink Diamond's reign. And the fight breaks out. And Steven, even though he shows how powerful he is, he's blocking with his shield, he's using his super speed, he's using his regen abilities, and he's outnumbered. And these guys know how to fight. These guys are outright brutal, and they end up like beating the shit out of him to the point where the team more or less just leaves him bloody, and they think they killed him. Like, Major Man's like, oh, so a shame that had to happen. Oh well, back to Earth. Now that we've taken out a superhero, no other cape is gonna get in our way. It's the Elite's time. And then they hear a voice go, "Thank you for opening my eyes." And that's when this pink blur starts spinning around like a pink tornado, and one by one the team gets taken out, like left and right. Misty, one of the Golden Eagle twins, Migo, and the rest shoot back down to Earth. They get followed, and Steven follows them, beats down the rest until it's Major Man who gets his arms broken by Steven, who just overpowers him. And he's like, "This isn't you. You're not a killer." And he's like, "You're right, I'm not." And then it's revealed that Jenny and Danny had been helping and putting on a scene to make it look like Steven had killed these people. Even the Gems had jumped. The Gems, Danny and Jenny, had all worked together on a plan to show the world that the Elite's way is wrong, and it's an error. The world needs like kindness and to others. So there you go, guys. That is Steven Universe versus the Elite. You guys tell me in the comments below what you guys think of it. Once again, I'd like to thank Hunter Johnson for this Patreon request as well as continued patronage. Other than that, like I said before, if you guys would like to send me a Patreon request, just hit the link below. Head on over to my Patreon where you guys can start sending me requests for videos to do here on Patreon. But other than that, hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.